get there. And the course summary is, can you recognize where you want to go, how to get there, learn the characteristics needed, challenges you will find, and outlook you must have in life. And to start this all off, we have the most beautiful Lynn Irwin, CRDH, BSW, and the title of her speech is Serving with Humor, Empathy, and Grace. Lynn Irwin is a hygienist in Florida. She also has her BA in social work from PSU. She has many children that she was blessed to help grow into adulthood. Lifting others up, serving others, and making people laugh are the most valuable gift she strives to achieve daily. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. So I was thinking, if any of you saw my headshot that went with this whole promo, you're probably wondering, who is this person standing up here? So today is Wig Day at the Dental Festival, and I just want to say that I went on full permanent wig change there. So I'm sure everybody wondered who in the heck this is up here. Anyway, humor, grace, empathy, those are all key components in maintaining good communication and good relationships. Humor is, it's the one thing that can bind us with another human being almost instantly. I had a job in a dental practice, and my operatory was really tiny. I mean, so tiny that whenever I was taking x-rays and I was on the left side, I could only come in sideways like this. I joked that they only hired me because I fit in the space. But I had a patient come in one day. He hadn't been to the dentist since he was a teenager. And the first thing he told me was that he could not brush his teeth only at night, only in the morning, because his adrenaline rushed so bad because his gag reflex was so bad. He would throw up violently every single time he brushed his teeth. And the first thing I did was look around my tiny little room and think that maybe I was on an episode of Punk'd or Practical Jokers. But when the reality set in, I just looked at him and I said, we can get through this. We've got this. And I said, uncross your legs. When we're taking the x-ray, just go ahead and raise your feet up in the air. And I got through the first two, not even so much as not even a gag. And so we got through the upper right. I went down to do the lower left, and of course he had wisdom teeth. So when I placed it, I was trying like heck to get out of the room fast. So picture this. I'm sideways, the wall's up against me. The PID's here, the arm is here. The monitor happens to be an all-in-one up on the wall. So the sensor cord comes down like this, and I'm thinking, I've got this. And I went, and I missed it. My toe caught the sensor, yanked it out of his mouth, and I thought, I'm good, I didn't fall, and I came back up and whacked my head on the arm of the x-ray PID. And all I could do is I turned to him, I'm like, are you okay? And he was laughing, I was laughing, and I just looked at him, and it was kind of like, thank God. I bet you can't wait until I get my hands on those really sharp instruments over there, because I'm sure you're really impressed with my skills. Well, we ended up laughing through that whole appointment, and not only did we get all 18 without any gagging, but 2 retakes. And by the time the doctor came in, we were all laughing together, and it just made for a really smooth first visit for a guy who was really stressed out. So the humor brought us together really quickly. The empathy, because my first thought was, you've got to be kidding me. How am I going to take x-rays on him? And I wanted to switch him really quickly to the other hygienist column. And the grace was afforded to me. He gave me grace in my little mishap there. But humor is something that relieves tension. Humor is a great quality to have for our own selves. When we're going through adversity, it gives us a chance to see something, that appears bleak, that once we really look at it, most things aren't as bleak as they first appear. Empathy in the healthcare field allows us to connect with our patients. There's patient surveys, satisfaction surveys. The one thing patients always report is that they feel like they don't matter. It's all about the money. And so providing patient satisfaction through empathy and connecting and really hearing what our patients or other human beings, this doesn't apply always to a clinical setting, this is just how we should interact with one another. But empathy is a binding agent. As a business owner, empathy actually, displaying empathy amongst your employees actually has proven that there's job satisfaction in for everybody. There was a study that was done, and 40% of the respondents said that they would work longer hours for an employer who displayed empathy. 56% said that they would actually work for less money, and 64% said that they would stay loyal to a job with an employer who displayed empathy. When we have our patients in front of us, they're often ashamed of the conditions of their mouths. And if we display empathy and actually hear what the patients are saying and create a we're in this together attitude, the patient is definitely going to be more compliant, more comfortable, and they'll see you as a friend and not somebody who just wants to take their money. I had a patient come in. She was a nurse. She had been exposed to dental abuse, and she was just terrified. She said over the 26 years that she hadn't been to a dentist, she walked in every single time, and then most of the time she walked back out after checking in. She said 1 or 2 times she made it into the patient chair, but then that was it. So I told her, I said, let's just do this together. Let's just take one moment at a time. And I said, I'm not going to lecture you on anything. Let's just find out what's going on. And by the time we were done, she actually only had 1 cavity. She needed scaling and root planing, and she said she would only come in and do it with me. And I made her promise that we would just make 1 appointment at a time. Every time she comes, she can go ahead and make the next one, just so she didn't feel overwhelmed. Grace. Grace is my absolute favorite word. Grace it's also a reset. It's the ability to overlook somebody's misgivings. Grace comes in many forms. It comes in the form of kind words, of gentle words. Grace comes in the form of small deeds. It also comes in the form of apologies. It comes in the form of forgiveness as well. When an apology is issued, it takes 2 people to display grace. Receiving an apology requires grace because you want to override that urge to rehash what that person did to you. Just take a deep breath and say, "I forgive you." And Grace actually is it's an action. It's a new place to start over. I don't even know why I just said that. But so humor, empathy, grace. I managed a condominium complex, and Hurricane Ivan came through. It was a Gulfront property. Hurricane Ivan came through and it just completely wiped it out. And I went back and I got my life, health, and annuities license. First day on the job, my manager takes me to an existing client's house. They're an elderly couple. And they have hearing aids in, and we're sitting at the table, and I keep hearing their doorbell going off. Ding dong, ding dong. And I'm trying to think, how can I do this? How can I point it out to them and not embarrass them? So I just finally said, would you like me to get your front door for you? And they all looked at me like I was strange. And the little old lady looked at me, and she said, "That's our grandfather clock." And I was like, I knew that. But in that moment, I thought I was displaying grace and empathy to her, but she was the one who gently had to give me grace for being too stupid to realize it was a clock on the wall and not her front door. So what I encourage you today to do is be a catalyst. Be kind, be observant, be the person that changes someone else's life. But by employing humor, empathy, and grace, you'll change your own. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lynn. We're going to hand it over to the judges so they can give you some feedback.
All right. So I thought you did a great job, Lynn. I really appreciate your content. Humor, empathy, grace, these are all characteristics I think that we all want to develop in ourselves to just become better people. And I love your personal stories from your experience in dentistry, and I think that's also a really cool demonstration that this can be a really rich opportunity to grow personally from the work that we do in this industry. The first story in particular was kind of funny about humor. You know, it can kind of come from surprising, places, and the ability to laugh at ourselves sometimes can really connect us. So that was my takeaway. I really love the line that you said, empathy is a binding agent. And so that one really stuck with me. And I absolutely believe that. I think that's the thing that gives us the ability to really connect and serve our patients. So thank you.
Well, Lynn, I really love this story also. I thought that you created it so visibly that I could see it. And you did an amazing job with that. And I could also kind of feel the fear of that patient as you were starting it. And then to end that in laughter, how important that is to get those patients in the chair and make them feel seen and heard. And you presented that so well. I really appreciated that. I also love the way you added research into your program too, where we had the percentages of people staying with a practice. And I thought that made a very big impact on bringing that to life too, and showing how relevant it is to all of us. And you had your great points stuck with me as points of guidance. And I think that they reached out to the audience too as a point of guidance for us all to remember humor, grace, and empathy. So thank you very much.
Hi, babe. I am awkward hugger.
I'm the
really
awkward
wanna
hugger.
hug you.
I'm the awkward hugger, yeah.
Hey, you are an empath. You are funny. You are graceful, especially in those red shoes. Pew pew. What? Everybody hear that? I love your topic, but I want to give you a but. What connects me to you is your heart. You know this, I know this. You got this. You said it to yourself, but I'm going to tell you now. You got this. Hey.
Lynn, so first of all, let's give her a round of applause, everybody. Come on. She did amazing. Anybody that gets on stage with the passion, the delivery she did, kudos. Yeah, curtsy, yeah. There it is. Lynn, I know you. We've met, 3 times now? We've been at this event 5 times? Okay. And there it is. You have passion. You have grace. You have confidence. Like, there's nothing about your presence that I didn't love. I was in a judge's meeting, and they were like, don't give everybody 5s. You can't do that. But anybody that gets on this stage, they deserve 5s. So I'm sorry, but everybody's getting 5s from me. You did an amazing job, the delivery, everything. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.